The gospel world has never seen anything like this. A live confession, a sudden collapse, and a viral storm that's left millions asking, what did Travis Green reveal that shook his wife and an entire community to the core? One moment, it was worship. The next, chaos. Travis Green's confession silenced the room, but what happened to Jackie Green seconds later turned a simple night of faith into the most talked about moment in gospel history. They came for music and ministry, but what they witnessed has the internet in shock. Travis Green confessed something so heavy, his wife Jackie collapsed on stage. The question is, what truth was too powerful to handle? Within minutes, TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube were flooded with clips of Jackie Green collapsing right after her husband's confession. But the real question still remains, what did Travis say that caused this viral storm? The gospel world was shaken this week by a moment no one saw coming. During a live event, Jackie Green suddenly collapsed, just seconds after her husband, Travis Green, made a confession that left the entire room stunned and the internet in chaos. People everywhere are asking the same question. What did Travis reveal that could cause such a dramatic reaction? Was it a personal secret? A spiritual confession? Or something even more unexpected? Whatever it was, that single moment transformed what was meant to be a routine night of worship into a viral storm that has the entire gospel community buzzing. At first, the event began like countless others. The auditorium was filled with worshipers, anticipation in the air. Fans had come to experience Travis Green's signature mix of soulful worship, heartfelt testimonies, and uplifting music. He has always been known for his authenticity, for blurring the line between stage and ministry, and that night seemed no different, at least in the beginning. A sudden shift in atmosphere. As the night unfolded, Travis performed several of his most loved songs. The crowd sang along, hands lifted, voices joined in worship. But then something changed. Instead of moving into the next set, he paused. The music faded, the lights dimmed, and the room's energy shifted from celebratory to almost heavy. Those in attendance said it was as if everyone instinctively knew that what came next would not be ordinary. With a solemn tone, Travis leaned into the microphone, not to sing, but to speak. And what followed was unlike anything most fans had ever witnessed at a gospel event. The confession that stunned everyone. Travis began to share openly, not rehearsed, not polished, but raw and real. His voice trembled slightly as he spoke of personal struggles, ministry pressures, and spiritual battles he had kept hidden. While he has always been transparent through his music, this was different. This was unfiltered. It was confession. Witnesses said he admitted to mistakes made in ministry, decisions that may have unintentionally hurt others. He acknowledged the weight of fame, the loneliness that often comes with leadership, and the strain it put on both his spirit and his relationships. Perhaps most shocking were the hints at unresolved tensions within the gospel community itself, including strained connections with colleagues and personal relationships that carried unspoken conflict. This wasn't just a story about perseverance. It was a glimpse behind the curtain into the private, vulnerable side of a man the audience usually saw as a pillar of faith. Jackie Green's collapse. As Travis poured his heart out, Jackie Green, his wife and ministry partner, was seated nearby. Suddenly, to the shock of everyone present, she staggered, clutched her chest, and collapsed. Gasps echoed across the auditorium. Some rushed forward to help her while others froze in disbelief. Panic swept through the crowd. Travis immediately stopped speaking and called for prayer. Stagehands and paramedics quickly came to Jackie's aid. But the timing was impossible to ignore. Her collapse happened in the very moment Travis laid his truth bare. It was as if his words carried a weight too heavy for even those closest to him to bear. Later, sources close to the couple explained that Jackie had been under significant stress leading up to the event. The combination of emotional pressure, public expectations, and the power of Travis's confession created a perfect storm. What the audience witnessed wasn't a staged drama, it was a human response to overwhelming truth. Viral frenzy online. The collapse was caught on camera, and within minutes, clips began circulating on TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter. Viewers replayed the footage endlessly, analyzing every detail, Travis's expression, Jackie's reaction, even the pauses in his speech. Hashtags related to the incident began trending worldwide. Comments ranged from shock to empathy. "I've never seen anything like this in gospel music. Jackie wouldn't collapse for nothing. Travis must have revealed something huge. Praying for them both, this is heavy." While many responded with compassion, others speculated wildly, guessing at hidden meanings or potential scandals. Yet those closest to the couple insisted it was nothing more than raw honesty colliding with human vulnerability. The gospel community responds. It wasn't just fans who reacted. Fellow gospel artists and ministry leaders weighed in, sparking conversations about the pressures of public ministry. Some praised Travis for his courage, saying his willingness to confess openly could inspire others to be honest about their struggles. Others questioned whether such confessions should be shared so publicly, warning that transparency on stage can sometimes cause more harm than good. This debate spilled into churches, online forums, and YouTube discussions. Suddenly, the focus wasn't only on Travis and Jackie, it was on the larger question of how gospel leaders balance their humanity with their calling. Jackie speaks out. Hours later, Jackie released a message of her own. She reassured fans that she was okay and thanked them for their prayers. Her tone was humble yet revealing. She acknowledged how overwhelming the moment had been, while also pointing to the emotional power of Travis's words. It was clear that his confession had touched her deeply, not just as his wife, but as someone who shared in his ministry journey. Beyond the drama. In the days that followed, headlines continued to highlight the collapse, but insiders cautioned against sensationalism. The real story, they insisted, wasn't about the fainting itself, it was about the confession that triggered it. What Travis revealed pulled back the curtain on the human side of ministry, the struggles, mistakes, and emotional burdens that often remain hidden. It forced fans and fellow leaders alike to confront the truth. Gospel artists are not just voices on a stage. They're people navigating the same fears, flaws, and pressures as anyone else. A defining moment in gospel history. Travis and Jackie Green have since continued to minister, addressing the event with honesty and gratitude. Travis framed his confession as a step toward accountability and growth. Jackie emphasized the importance of prayer and community support. Yet the moment lingers. Not just because it went viral, but because it revealed something bigger. It showed the world that vulnerability has power. That transparency, while inspiring, can also overwhelm. And that faith leaders, no matter how strong they appear, carry battles most never see. This wasn't just another fainting episode. It was a collision of emotion, faith, and revelation. Within minutes, clips of Jackie falling to the floor spread across TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter. Fans replayed the footage over and over, trying to piece together what had just happened. What did Travis say? Why did Jackie react like that? The questions only fueled the frenzy. The confession that changed everything. The night began like any other gospel gathering. Travis, known for his passionate voice and heartfelt ministry, stepped on stage ready to sing, worship, and uplift. But halfway through, the energy shifted. The music quieted. The lights dimmed. And then, instead of singing, Travis began to speak. His voice was steady but heavy, almost trembling with weight. What he shared wasn't performance. It was raw, vulnerable truth. Attendees later described it as more than just testimony. It felt like a deeply personal revelation, the kind that cuts through every barrier. Nobody expected it, and everyone felt the intensity of the moment. Jackie's collapse. As Travis spoke, all eyes were on him, until suddenly, Jackie stumbled, clutched her chest, and collapsed. Gasps filled the venue. Some people rushed to help while others stood frozen in shock. The timing made the moment even more powerful. His words clearly struck a chord so personal, so overwhelming, that Jackie's body reacted before she could process it. Paramedics quickly stepped in, while Travis stopped mid-sentence, visibly shaken. The atmosphere that was once filled with worship had turned into chaos. Online, viewers saw only the surface, Jackie collapsing on stage. But those close to her revealed that she had been carrying weeks of emotional stress. The combination of pressure, expectation, and Travis's revelation became too much to bear all at once. Why it resonated so deeply. So why did this confession hit so hard? Travis Green has always been admired for his honesty, but this moment went beyond music or ministry. His words seemed to touch something raw and universal: fear, vulnerability, and truth. For Jackie, that overlap between personal life and public ministry made the impact even heavier. Experts say sudden collapses like this often come from emotional overload paired with exhaustion or stress. Insiders insist this wasn't about scandal or drama, it was an involuntary reaction to a confession that cut close to home. The aftermath and viral spread. As expected, social media exploded. Hashtags began trending within hours. Fans debated, speculated, and filled comment sections with theories. Some believed the confession revealed personal struggles in their marriage or ministry. Others argued it was a spiritual breakthrough too heavy to process in real time. But here's the truth. Jackie's collapse was only one piece of the puzzle. What Travis actually confessed has yet to be fully revealed, leaving more questions than answers. And that mystery is exactly why the story hasn't died down. A larger story unfolding. What seemed like one shocking night may actually be the beginning of a much bigger conversation about faith, transparency, and the weight that comes with living in the public eye. Travis's words and Jackie's reaction have opened up debates about emotional health, ministry pressure, and how even spiritual leaders face breaking points. One thing is certain, this wasn't just a viral clip. It was a turning point, and the gospel world is still reeling from it. As Jackie was being helped off stage, Travis Green stood frozen in the spotlight, his emotions written all over his face. He quickly silenced the music and called the audience to prayer. In that moment, he showed both leadership and vulnerability, concern for his wife, yet the weight of his own confession still hanging heavy in the air. Witnesses described him as steady but shaken, proving just how real and raw the moment was. Later, Travis took to social media to clear the air. He reassured fans that Jackie was receiving care and that her collapse wasn't a direct result of his words alone. Instead, he explained, it was the sheer emotional intensity of the moment, proof of how truth spoken in ministry can strike the people closest to it the hardest. Fans react and speculation grows. Online, the incident spread like wildfire. Twitter threads, TikTok clips, and Instagram posts were filled with shock and concern. Comments poured in. I've never seen anything like this in gospel ministry. Jackie wouldn't collapse for nothing. Travis must have said something major. This is heartbreaking. Hope she's okay. While many lifted the Greens up in prayer, others couldn't resist speculating. Some whispered about behind-the-scenes conflicts or even stage theatrics. But those who know the couple insisted the moment was genuine, born out of raw truth and overwhelming emotion. Jackie breaks her silence. A few hours later, Jackie herself posted an update. She thanked fans for their prayers, assured everyone she was okay, and acknowledged just how heavy the moment had been. Her words revealed humility, gratitude, and a quiet nod to the power of what Travis had shared. That's what made this moment different. It wasn't simply a stage collapse, it was a powerful reminder of the human side of gospel ministry. The pressure, the weight of expectation, and the vulnerability of telling the truth all collided in front of a live audience. The real cliffhanger. But here's where it gets even more gripping. While Jackie's collapse grabbed headlines, the real center of the story was Travis's confession. What exactly did he reveal? That question has kept fans guessing, fueling endless rumors about relationships, ministry decisions, and past controversies. The confession unfolds. Eyewitnesses say the atmosphere in the packed auditorium shifted the moment Travis put down the music and began to speak. It wasn't performance anymore, it was personal. In a raw, unfiltered voice, he admitted to struggles and battles he'd rarely spoken of. Among them were mistakes in ministry, decisions that unintentionally hurt others, choices shaped by stress and ambition. Personal vulnerabilities, his own emotional battles, feelings of isolation, and the weight of fame in gospel music. Relationship tensions, hints of strain with fellow artists and ministry partners, conflicts that had never been fully resolved. This mixture of honesty and exposure made the moment almost unbearable, especially for Jackie, who has walked every step of ministry life alongside him. Why it hit Jackie so hard? Those close to the couple say the confession wasn't just about Travis, it touched matters Jackie had lived through as well. It was personal, painful, emotional. Her collapse wasn't just physical exhaustion, it was the body's reaction to a truth that struck too close to home. Witnesses described her as overwhelmed, caught between empathy, disbelief, and a flood of memories the confession stirred. Social media explosion. When clips of the confession hit the internet, fans everywhere stopped scrolling. Hashtags shot to the top of Twitter. Comment sections filled with shock, debate, and prayer. The gospel world hadn't just witnessed another viral moment, it had been shaken by one man's truth and one woman's reaction. Instagram and TikTok lit up within minutes. Reaction videos poured in, each fan dissecting Travis Green's every word, searching for meaning in his confession. On YouTube, the comment sections turned into roundtables, half prayer circles, half debates, where viewers tried to unpack what the revelation meant for both Travis and Jackie Green. The speed at which the moment spread showed one thing clearly. In today's digital age, a single act of honesty can ripple across the world in seconds. The ripple through the gospel community. The impact wasn't limited to fans scrolling on their phones. Travis's confession sent shockwaves through the entire gospel music and ministry world. Church leaders, fellow artists, and worshipers began asking big questions about accountability, emotional honesty, and the weight of public ministry. Some applauded his courage, seeing it as a much-needed reminder that leaders are human too. Others wondered if such deeply personal truths belonged on stage at all. What started as a single confession soon grew into a larger conversation about the struggles gospel artists carry, the mistakes they've made, and the impossible balance between personal life and public ministry. A new layer of drama. But just when people thought they had processed it, new information surfaced. Insiders whispered that Travis's confession might change not only how fans view him, but also how he and Jackie work together going forward. Suddenly, the collapse, the confession, and the viral videos weren't just past events. They were the beginning of an unfolding story with real consequences for their future in ministry. The internet responds. Fans rushed to social media with a storm of mixed emotions. Many expressed relief and gratitude when Jackie confirmed she was okay. Others were laser-focused on the confession itself, digging for hidden meanings or clues about Travis's personal and professional life. Prayer-filled comments sat side by side with fiery debates, making the moment less of a headline and more of a case study on faith, vulnerability, and the price of honesty in front of the world. Media coverage and public spotlight. It wasn't long before the story escaped gospel circles and landed in mainstream headlines. Clips of Jackie collapsing dominated entertainment sites, while think pieces and reaction videos tried to peel back the layers. The drama was hard to ignore, but those close to the couple urged people not to focus only on the visuals. Beneath the shock was something deeper, a raw look at truth, vulnerability, and the emotional toll of living a public spiritual life. Even secular outlets covered the story, noting how rare it is for such private emotions to play out so openly on stage. What the world witnessed wasn't just entertainment, it was a reminder of the humanity behind ministry. Lessons for the gospel world. Insiders close to Travis and Jackie suggested that this moment could reshape the way they move forward together, professionally and personally. Nothing official has been confirmed, but the confession clearly touched on shared responsibilities and past decisions that cut close to home. For the wider gospel community, the event carries lessons. Transparency is powerful but delicate. Leaders must balance honesty with care for those most affected. Artists are human first. Even those on stage carry burdens, and sometimes those emotions spill over. Social media magnifies everything. What begins as a private moment can become a worldwide conversation in minutes. Moving forward, since the incident, Jackie has expressed her gratitude for the overwhelming support and prayers, while Travis has addressed his confession directly, framing it as a step toward accountability and growth. Both continue in their ministry, but the night remains etched in memory as a turning point. It wasn't just about a collapse or even a confession. It was about how truth, spoken in the rawest form, can inspire, overwhelm, and change the course of lives in an instant. This moment will not be forgotten in gospel history, both for its shock and for the profound lessons it leaves behind.